Yo, it's your boy DropTopShima, man. Welcome to another episode of Combos with Shima, man. I am the host, of course. Man, I'm introducing to you one of my guys, man. He's one of the best kept secrets, man. He done went through 40 different name changes. Shit. Me and him about we neck to neck, man.
Yeah.
Neck to no neck, you know what I'm saying? But I first met this guy as Cobb Ransom. He went from that to distance. Now he is Pegas Pegasus Snow.
Pegasus Snow.
Okay, Pegasus Snow. That's what I thought it was initially. Digging, man. So, man, please to introduce him. He's a rapper. He's a producer, which I didn't know he made beats. And then he also a father now, man. So introduce my dog, Pegasus Snow.
Hey, good to be here, Mike.
Right,
Are
right.
you still going by Mike?
Drop top Sheeman, baby.
Okay.
Ruthless.
What's
You know what
up,
I'm
Drop
saying?
Top? I
Yeah,
see you.
yeah, man. Just shit, not much, man. It's all good, man. It's gravy, man. Had a great day, so far. Just out here, just trying to get to it. What's going on with you, man?
Same man. Just grinding right now, working on this album pretty much every single day. Balancing that with family, keeping up with business, keeping up with emails. So yeah, today's been pretty great, man. It's been pretty chill.
So,
Just off work.
I got you. So, man, so let's talk about just how your initial beginnings, man. Give everybody an introduction of who you are, what you how you started, and just what led you into the genre of rap, man.
Yeah. So I started making music at a very young age, probably between like 7 and 9, just doing some really basic elementary songwriting. Um, I had an instrument around that time, started playing piano when I was 7, really began teaching myself to play piano when I was 12. Did some performing for a musical group when I was really young in elementary school. And then began serious songwriting in rock music when I was 12 years old. Um, Going through high school, taught myself to play piano, guitar, and bass. Made a couple of demos with several bands that I put together. And I started producing and making beats and rapping probably when I was 14, 13 or 14. And at 16 began taking that seriously. I had listened to it my entire life, man. Was a fan of the genre, turned away from it for a while. And then at some point, going through some rough times in high school, I really reconnected with it and was extremely inspired. And writing was always a strong suit of mine. So yeah, I began taking the craft seriously at 16. I'm from Lexington. I had moved away from Lexington and I came back to Lexington when I was 18 years old. And that's when I began trying to engage with the scene, just trying to get some kind of start. Was always constantly making songs and stuff. And probably met you there at the foundation at Sammy's at the album,
Yeah.
which was a great place for a lot of people in the scene. And about a year after that, man, and using that platform to build my skill set, had a nice batch of songs where I finally released my first tape on SoundCloud as Cobb Ransom. Did that for, I think, like 4 years, released a few albums and then went with the name change to Distant, doing the same thing, continuing to do shows. Made a 30-song concept mixtape with Dustin Jones. And yeah, then last year I released my debut double LPs, Pegasus Snow, which is, like I said, I've actually been producing and making beats for a lot longer than some people realize. But back in the day, I had a partner that I would make the beats with. I remember I took a Greyhound trip down to Nashville when I was about 20 years old. And I was making an album at that time called Don't Blink as Cobb Ransom. And the plan was for it to be all original production, composing, and lyrics and vocals. And got a lot of great stuff made. I had a song at the time, Four Knives, that I think I did at a couple shows. It went really well. Um, but since then, disconnected, got into the mixtape game, and sort of always had that on the back burner. But then it's Pegasus Snow last year, and now I really use that to seize the opportunity to begin with the original production and composing. So that's what I've been on since last year.
I got you. I got you. So man, so we met at the foundation. Bro was cold. Like, you know, me and JK used to always talk about it. And I'd be like, man, I said, yeah, that motherfucker's hard. You know, I always spoke highly of you, man. You and Body, for sure, man. And it's crazy, man. Y'all did a tape together. And I mean, and after that, it's like y'all kind of went y'all separate ways, man. Like, what happened?
Um, yeah, man. So we did that tape, and that tape had some good moments on it. I think we both took very different approaches on that tape. He had a lot of the longer verses and the shine and the platform on the tape. He hadn't released a project at that point, and I had. We were living together. My verses were pretty much written spontaneously. I was in a pretty wild phase of my life, and I mean, some of those verses I think I sat down and wrote without even going back and doing rewrites. Did several of them in probably less than an hour, and his were just they were chiseled out. And that tape, I think we both got caught up a little bit. Think we could have done a better job on it, just tying it off. It has some moments on it that are still some of my favorite to look back on. But we still remained friends after that. And we were always linking up and freestyling, and exchanging material with each other. He went on to do his first tape after that. I think it came out a couple years later. And I went on to do several projects as well, both of which that featured him. I had him on Baby Pictures that came out after that, which was a Cobb Ransom project that I wrote, recorded, and had mastered in 30 days. And then I had him on Trauma as Distant as well. And he just went off to do his own thing. At one point, we did consider doing a sequel to the Tomorrow Today project. But it never came around to it, man. I think he got into his material, I got into mine. Life and drama kind of hit everybody, and everybody just, yeah, kind of just went separate ways, man.
I got you. I feel you, man. Shit, that's kind of, me and Poke, man, we DA, but it's how you met me. We didn't necessarily really go through drama. It was more so just like, one person just had he felt a certain way about certain stuff. I felt a certain way. I just he kind of took a break on it,
Yeah.
kind of kept pushing forward. He just recently came out with some shit, and I'm not gonna lie, his last few shits was the best shit I've heard from him.
Yeah. Who is it?
Pope, that's Pope Stewart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was the other half of DA, but yeah, like his new takes, man. He got a couple of them, man. His new takes is dope, man. He went out there, he did his thing, and he always never ceased to amaze me. So like I said, man, I'm just excited, man. So we're gonna take a little first commercial break real quick. Would you like to tell me to introduce your first song, man?
Yeah. So this first song is called No Give. It was the lead single to my debut album, is Pegasus Snow, from last year. Um, yeah, I guess that's it.
Yes. Pegasus Snow, no give. Man, you tapping in. So check it in with tap in with me. Yeah, I'm fucking up my words. Tap in, check in, all that good stuff, man. It's your boy DropTopShima. You know what it is, man. Get you some sip and get you some drip. No, some chips. Whatever. Press play. By your song. All right. Yeah.
sunshine. Now got bigger shoes to fill these days, I gotta upsize. Used to drink every last drop until my cup was dry. Buzz, drunk, vows, necessary, justified. Can't get one right now, but next year I'm stuck in my people that I stuck by. They watching over me like I ain't got enough eyes. Feel like Brady put me in and hit on out his touchdown. Know why you look so interested as if it wasn't mine. Tell me to get through me, so stop me if you wanna buy. Smoking bass, pump tags. Give me something cold to spare my crush that I'll touch. Think that beat like a running back and running track.
Triple blind jersey too, and a couple hats. Like CP back, but look double like need a snap.
Shook, novel, fragile, fed up, feel like Adam. Eve got my rib and my heart sore. Abdomen dark, I need an apple. Tryna be one of the baddest. Never gon' settle for lavish. Still I've had it. More than a tad bit with my habits. Hotel ashes, flicking my ashes. Lost in a lab with off my exes. Make a bottle of this from my ashes.
Your boy DropTopShima, man, and we are back. Title of the song is No Gear by Pegasus Snow. Little rough transition, but anyway, we're gonna get back to it. So, man, you were saying you was going through a rough patch in your life earlier, and I wanted to touch on that because I know, and if you could tell me if this is something you don't want to touch on, I know you had your issues with, I believe, substance abuse at one point, and you was actually locked down for something, man. If you want to tell me what your mind was going through, man, because I know that was.
So what I was referring to earlier in the interview, one of the things that kind of drew me into in the beginning to take the genre and the craft seriously in high school was it had a lot to do with my home life in high school. I began using drugs and alcohol at a pretty young age. And I had moved away for high school. So, first going to a new place, I was in a much smaller place than Lexington. I had great memories from that time, and I ended up making a lot of friends. By the time I graduated, I was quite a bit of a loner, and I went through a lot of struggle at home. Uh, Mother living in Lexington. I was living with my father. Um, there was a lot of uncertainty at home and what was going to happen. Um, yeah, yeah, man, just dealing with a lot of a lot of internal emotions and not a lot of people to go to for it. Um, and just like that transitional period where you're going into manhood. Um, so that's what I was referring to in the interview earlier. As far as being locked up, I've definitely been there a handful of times. It's probably pretty common knowledge, man, especially to people in the scene. I know some, people have cared about me and stuff. And I actually, one of the Cobb Ransom mixtape covers were two booking photos of mine that I took and then put one upside down and put them together. Replay was my second Cobb Ransom mixtape. And that stuff was drug related. And it was difficult, man. I ended up on papers and ended up screwing that up, having trouble staying sober, going back in, ended up having to serve out a state year. So the last time that I went in for real was for a pretty long time. It's about half a year. And every single time it sucks, man. I'm sure there's worse places in the world to be, but it sucks, man. I mean, there's not a lot to do in there. The conditions aren't great. But I tried to make the most of it. But really just not being able to see, not being able to feel your loved ones, the uncertainty of what's happening on the outside, the world moving by at 1,000 miles per hour while you're stuck just drives your anxiety up the wall. Being so close to so many people you don't even know is extremely stressful. It has a psychological impact. But I tried to make the most of it. I kept my head up. I did a lot of writing while I was in there. I did find good people when I was in there, and good people found me. The last time I was in there for real, I got shipped out a couple places, ended up getting released on like the other side of the state, made my way back. But yeah, man, I just tried to, you just try. Eventually you get into a routine in there, and it gets closer and closer, but it's tough, man. Like it definitely is, being away from your people. And when you're trying to succeed too, like I know I was in there one time, and like I had to miss this awesome opportunity to perform, man. I was killed out over that, but just tried to look forward to getting back and utilize my time in there to do what I could. Do writing, whether it be a screenplay or a song or a verse, trying to come up with melodies in my head, download a piano app, coming up with some pieces of music that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was quite an experience, man. It's had a powerful impact on my life. It's lended me a lot of perspective about things related to the system and life in general and people. And I've just tried to use that to make my art stronger and to make myself stronger and smarter as a person.
Yeah, man. I feel that's really inspirational, man, for sure. Like I said, I couldn't imagine listen, I've been in juvie, and that's a different thing, but I ain't never did no motherfucking like no real shit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Where you gotta sit in there and really think.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And I mean, honestly, the amount of time that I was really in there, the longest pales in comparison to what some people are going through. And like, I've never been to the pen, although some people say that the pen is better than county. I think the places I got shipped to, I did end up staying at some Class D facilities, which I think maybe FCDC might be a Class D. And those are places that, where people can knock out federal time. So it's not like a straight prison, but you can do prison time there. So Yeah, man, it's tough, man. You know, camaraderie is a real thing, but also, you know, you definitely at times end up around people you don't want to be around. Like it puts you on your toes, man.
I dig it. So, like we really touched on it, but not really touched on it. Would you say with your each name change, each name that you went by was a metamorphosis of not only just from a musical aspect, but in your life?
Hmm. Yeah, man. I guess you could say that, you know, like really the name changes and you know, every project and every name, there's definitely a different sound, you know, but there's versatility within all of my work, really. But the names, like honestly, it could just be under one name at the same time. Like to me, it really is me. It's just Dawson at the end of the day. You know, the names do mean something, but the music would be the same. If I had stayed as Cobb Ransom, you would still be getting the same music that Distant put out. You would still be getting the same music that Pegasus Snow put out. But absolutely, man, like the metamorphosis of my life, I mean, there are definitely markers there. So like Cobb Ransom was really like my introduction into the scene and getting a grounding. And it was exciting, man, doing shows and like getting respect and grinding. And then when I decided to go into the Distant material and change my name, yeah, it got bigger, man. Like, you know, I don't know, just like brain and vision growing too, I guess, man. Like, you know, the art, I had a bigger vision for what I wanted to do with the art. Got some show opportunities around that time that were larger than they had been. Um, and you know, just some respect. I was hustling more. I was making more connections, and it was certainly a level up for me, man. Like that material will always be really special to me in my journey. And then, you know, the material, I had an LP that was written and planned to come out right after Trauma. It was called Auto Connect, man, and it was really special. I've still got it laying around, but some stuff happened in life. I wasn't able to put it out when I wanted to. So I took a couple years just continuing to write, did some of the best writing that I've ever done in my life. Like I'm always looking for the level up with my material, man, just like trying to constantly work so that, you know, even when it's not fun, eventually you get those breakthroughs. Like I'm sure you know what that's like as an artist, man, where you're just
Facts.
like trying to
Facts.
get it up. So then the Pegasus Snow, you know, kind of rolls around. Like I was finally about to put out the Auto Connect material, man, and I actually had some op stuff kind of going on, and you know, some people that were stepping in and trying to make trouble for me, man, and like putting into my material and stuff. I guess because you know they knew I was onto something, and it was around that time I shifted gears. I decided to go original, do it with the original music and production. So I left all the Auto Connect material behind, began the Pegasus Snow work, and man, I had some huge breakthroughs. You know, like I knew that I had the footing and the ability to do the composing and the producing, but once it all started coming back to me, man, like I was really blown away at some of the stuff I was able to do on that album and in the production work. And then, you know, like I hadn't been doing shows for a few years. Like as Distant, man, I was really rolling. Like I had my social media up, the highest it had been. I was doing these very exciting shows. Then basically took a few years, man, and you know, I was at one point just living in a hotel, you know, barely getting by, but it's always still working on the music. So I'm working on Focus, and it's really just me, man, and I'm in a pretty dark place. Like I got ops on me. You know, I'm in a relationship that's not so great at the time, but the music is great. But you know, things aren't really happening around me too much. I'm not going out like I used to. You know, I'm not hanging out with the same people I used to. I'm spending a lot of time alone, honed in on this album. But then I did have some really amazing breakthroughs, man. I won't name names, but you know, I got to meet some of the people that you know have really inspired me more than anybody. Some pretty amazing people in music, and it was life changing, man. not gonna lie. And that's really been driving me recently, man. Like I'm on a mission with this new album. So yeah, so the names definitely there's a mark and a metamorphosis within each of those for me, man. And I'm just trying to take it as far as I can.
I got you. I got you. So we're gonna take the next break. We're gonna break into that next song from his new project. Which one you want to throw at me?
Let's do Nobody. So with No Give, the first single, it was a beginning production and composition by someone else. Then I went in and did additional composing and producing, did all of the lyrics and the vocals, the mixing and the mastering and the engineering. And then this one, Nobody, was the lead single to my album coming out in July, Self-Destruct. And it is me from the ground up, production, composing, mixing, mastering. And it's got featured vocals from the Hotel Lobby.
Okay, hell yeah, that's the homie. Shout out to Hotel Lobby. We gotta get you on the pod soon. So check this out. This is the second one. Nobody, baby.
Yeah.
Not by Keith Sweat, but it's by Pegasus Snow featuring the Hotel Lobby. You know what it is. Tap in with ConvozWithSHIMA.
Yep.
Don't worry about me, I'm nobody. Move off Achilles heel like nobody. No, sometimes feel like nobody. Feels how I move all head, nobody. Please don't sweat me, I'm nobody. Body, I didn't make it to the soul. Survival accepted when it's here, but don't need nobody. Nah, Pegasus Snow's got it. Pegasus Snow's got it. Pegasus Snow's got it. Pegasus Snow's got it. You want to know me, know the Pegasus Snow's got it. Pegasus Snow's got it. Pegasus Snow's got it. Pegasus Snow's got it. You ones that got me know I got it like drowning in fresh death, rolling salt water. Salt in the wounds of a crocodile. All too familiar to be walking target. Shotguns on me trying to blow me out the water. But ain't a press touch, didn't blow me out the water. Gotta go deeper like below me in the water. Usually don't sink it when you put that shot up. Belt down coming up, now I'm out the water. Set your scope on this, won't you blow me, go down farther. Used to leave the flesh in my teeth, now I'm flossing. Shaking out, foaming, overheated out of water. Go with death music to my ears, cowards talking. Lots of W's plumb out of losses. Sunshine, moonshine, bound to blow the stardust. DR22s can't just run at pace. Chopping dirt off my shoulder, with my shoulder out the socket. Out the socket, nobody. Yeah, out the socket, no far reach. It catch you off guard, how it reaches and hits alarming. But please don't worry about me, I'm nobody. I'm no, yeah. Don't worry about me, I'm nobody. Move on Achilles heel like nobody. Love sometimes feel like nobody. Feels how I move. Please don't sweat me, I'm nobody. Body man didn't make it to the soul. Survival accepted when it's here, but don't need nobody. Nah, Pegasus Snow's got it. Pegasus Snow's got it. Pegasus Snow's got it. Pegasus Snow's got it. You want to know me, Pegasus Snow's got it. Pegasus Snow's got it. Pegasus Snow's got it. Pegasus Snow's got it. You want to got me, know I got it like, hey, Pegasus Snow's that cold snow falling. Always on your calendar, just on the winter market. Watch up, they celebrated earth throwing parties. Victory labs leading back to where the starters. Not how I'm going full circle, I'm popping. Coming off the pages, play war subscriber. Have to dig out, thinking that nobody's watching and watch down. Eyes closed, eyes open, out with the timing. Every house I'm in, that's a house that's haunted. Not just flies on walls, lot of spotters. Catching motherfuckers, trajectories going silence. Be the shrink, back them up, get in the business, see what's inside them. High, even though rock, ride, soul, ride. Laughing on control, be them holding. I ain't thinking they're safe by me, this is no safari. Now I'm holding their hand, held accountable for failure. Realizing the sunshine, the moonshine, pass, hold them hostage. Some of the tactics, but ain't good or bad. Copping, snake charming knows exactly how the boa constricts, luckily lands, music, bomb. I with manifest, mandatory, both the code. Kind of recruit by the league, that's one boulder. Not so loud, just goodbye, pick you up, throw you out and stick around, at least make sure you go quiet. 24 hours on the moon, COVID decided. Sick of y'all hiding, making sure you focus. Rider, pack shows don't make sense. I caught it, stopping my shows. Only way show stopping, always know it's coming. Life is like a box of white chocolates. I'ma dress you up, you keep talking about my daughter. Teach you how to walk, first words better be snow flies and gives a fucking cobweb. Catch you off guard, swoop down and show you that you caught up in your head. They cracking in your head and caught up in your
Scary, combust, 400 feet up, Pegasus Snow, don't give a fuck.
I got another combustible 400 feet up, but I still ain't got no $5 to give.
Another combust, 400 feet up, Pegasus Snow, don't give a fuck.
I got another combustible 400 feet up, but I still ain't got no $5 to give. Worry about me, y'all know.
400 feet up, Pegasus Snow, don't give a fuck.
I got another combustible 400 feet up, but I still ain't got no $5 to give.
Another combust, 400 feet up, Pegasus Snow, don't give a fuck.
I got another combustible 400 feet up, but I still ain't got no $5 to give. $5 to give.
Pegasus Snow,
$5
don't
to
give a
give. $5 to give. Yeah, yeah, no $5 to give. $5 to give. Don't worry about it. Yeah, no $5 to give. $5 to give. $5 to give. No $5 to give. I'm all about it. I'm still jammed up, wild, no more tail tug. My focus on self-destruct. PSP, BDORSD, coldest boss, sold. The legend goes. Focus through a plethora of old shit show. 24-hour long episodes. Wanna hit by to survive till I've been left alone. No threats on goals. They tried to tune my heart out and ended up the stethoscope. They shimmered instead of me, finding my chest was cold. For self-preservation, keep it on ice to get the best results and blow kisses, if not Eskimo. Web toes for wind below, especially bleeding. Blood in the water, red stained seaweed. Eyes like a dog's eye. Summer blockbuster battle drop. Within the July, might as well be no August. Hot hair, red motorcycles, ghost riders, single truck, cars to decap cups. Joe Biden, slithering kings, dropping left and right. Kobe style made it clear they wanted all the smoke. So I'm chopping sidewalks, cigar, exhale, our sides go, but I already know CGI, but like green spin on those behind. Cruise behind me, some move so shy, but don't worry about us, we're nobody.
It's your boy DropTopShima, and we just got back from the commercial break. We just got back listening to Pegasus Snow featuring the hotel lobby. Nobody like you. It don't go like that, but you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
anyway, man, we was actually getting towards the life changing events. You were saying, when you're just going through these phases, and I'm getting to that right now. I'm actually segue into this. So we now know. I just literally found out actually, like probably maybe like a few months ago, you got a new baby girl. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, man. So, um, I know we talked about what we couldn't ask and everything, you know, and obviously I'm not gonna go far that deep, but but I do have a question. Like honestly, with you being a father, how does that change your your goals regarding being an artist and like and pushing yourself as well as like has it changed your content in any way? Are you more conscious about it? And like as a dream chaser, like how does this make you look towards when she gets older and she wants to experiment and do things? Is that with you being a dream chaser yourself? How do you think you'll be able to approach that?
Sure. So, well, yeah, man, it's absolutely life changing. Um, it's a beautiful thing. I'm still wrapping my head around it every single day. Um, it's definitely brought a new energy into my life. Um, I look at her and the feeling is just it's so intense, man. It's amazing. And sometimes it's like seeing the future, like sometimes looking at her, I can't help but imagine how one day, she's going to be a woman like on this earth. That's a beautiful thing. uh as far as it affecting goals with music, and art, it doesn't really change a whole lot for me in that regard. It changes my life in a lot of ways as far as what I want for myself, um, and the decisions that I need to make to set her up for success. You know, um, but as far as making music, um, leaving something behind, trying to attain success, it's pretty much it's the same mission. You know, um, it's just trying to achieve it now while having her here. But as far as what needs to be achieved and going after it and what needs to be left behind, it's really exactly the same. Nothing changes. The work still has to be put in. It has to be put in. The goal is to get better every single day, to elevate my game and my craft. Um, she definitely, Shiesty Christ told me this, man. I was talking to him about it. He's got children, and we were texting back and forth, and he told me that she would definitely put a battery in my back, which she has, man. Um, she absolutely inspires me. Um, and I talk about her on my new album. I talked about her briefly on the song Nobody. Um, and she definitely gives me energy, and she gives me something more to fight for in life. You know, I've spent a lot of time in my life these last couple years, especially trying to evolve as a person and humbling myself and realizing that what I am doing and what we do in life with all of our actions, that it's really bigger than who we are as individuals. It's not about us, so I want to move. What I'm trying to do is not about me. I think that's the case for a lot of artists. I think some people don't understand that. Some people see it as a selfish feat. And ego is involved, and it definitely, some people do pursue it selfishly at times, but I've learned from firsthand experience that that's not always the case. So yeah, she just continues to inspire me, man, to try and do something outside of myself, which is really what I'm trying to accomplish with all of this.
Nah, I got you, man. So we're gonna touch on a somber note, a little bit better note, so it ain't gotta be all emotional. I don't want to start nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, if honestly, if for new fans out there that want to check you out, can you give 3 artists that best describes your style and how describes your style, and also can you pick a song or two that you would recommend them to listen to?
Sure. Wow. Well, I have a very versatile style. Um, I'm a student of the game. I listen to a lot, I study a lot, but two of the biggest artists for me that I've definitely been influenced by and molded my style out of were Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Um,
Oh, that's
uh, yeah, yeah. So I would start there, and somebody else might be like Jay-Z, or maybe even Prince. My stuff, especially now, it's becoming very musical, and I'm incorporating a lot of different elements into it. So I would say those 4 names for now.
okay.
And as far as 2 songs, are you talking about 2 of my songs?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. Nobody else.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I would say right now the 2 singles that I've got out for the new album, Self Destruct, which I think we're gonna play the other one here in a second, but the first one being Nobody that just played. Lead single for the new album. It's long. It's like a 9-minute single, which I know is, not the ideal thing to do for a lead single, depending on what your strategy is. But that really, for me, it showcases pretty much everything from top to bottom that, I would want to showcase, as far as like uh, what kind of, um, level I'm at right now. I think it encompasses everything hip hop within the lyrics. It's got politics, it's got aggression. It's me on the musical end, the production end. It's me on the vocals and the lyrics. It's got the wordplay, it's got the flow, it's got all of that. So I would recommend that. That's on all major streaming platforms. It's Nobody by Pegasus Snow. And then the second single that I released a few weeks ago, called Get Home Fast, is another piece that I'm extremely proud of. It doesn't, I mean, I don't know if other people feel this way about it or not, but I know that at first it has a lot of elements. It doesn't seem like a standard, like hip hop track. Like musically, it almost sounds like it could be a rock song, but there's rapping over that, and that was part of the approach with the song. And with other pieces that I'm doing, I'm trying to create things and rap over things that you don't necessarily hear all the time. And I'm also, one thing I'm doing on this album that I've done on previous ones, but I'm really making a point of on this album, is showcasing my vocal ability and my singing. So this new single, it has the kind of the unorthodox approach and conglomeration of elements musically and lyrically, and it also showcases my singing ability on the chorus. So those 2 songs right now, and that one is also on all major streaming platforms. It's Get Home Fast. And speaking of the jail time and stuff, there's a lyric on there where I'm talking about that. And that was part of the inspiration for that track, was being locked up and trying, channeling the emotion of trying to make it back to the outside, talking about some of the things like the conditions. There's a lyric about drinking sink water, which I don't know if anyone else is familiar with the conditions in there. But some people might have taken it as tap water, but it's not really about drinking sink water. Like I've had sink water, you know what I'm saying? Like sink water comes in handy sometimes. But it was more about the sense that you share a small sink that's only about the size that you can hardly cuff your two hands into. And you share that, and it's in a bathroom. It's where the toilet is at, that you share with 11 other grown men. That's open to the room, by the way, from like the chest up. And you know, if you don't have commissary, you know, your tray comes in with a little pack of powder, and you're filling up a plastic cup that they give you that has your toiletries in it, and you're going in there, and that's where you have to fill up and drink water at. Like if you're wanting to drink water throughout the day, you have to go put this cup in this sink where it can hardly fit. There's makeshift spouts on there that are made out of pins and rubber bands by the inmates to make the stream able to get into the cup easier. So just for clarification, that was more what that lyric was about.
Deep shit right there. So check this out, man. We're gonna get into the final song, and then we're gonna wrap it up and basically go through and get the social handles and all that good stuff, man. So it's called Get Home Fast, Pegasus Snow, DropTopShima, ConvozWithSHIMA.
Oh yeah. And this one too, my bad. Can I say this real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah. And this one too, like with most things on the album, this is me from the ground up. The producing, the composing, the vocals, lyrics, mixing and mastering and engineering. On the first album, I went by close range, and on this album, I'm eyes closed. And you know, I'm hoping to keep options open for various capacities on working on projects in the future. So cool.
I dig it, man. So we're gonna tap into that right now. All right.
All right.
Peace up, man.
Concrete walls, calling for God, sink water all day long. Outside my family, sitting there waiting for me. Darkness gobbling off me, go in and celebrate my free. So now we'll get locked up too and shutting the outside of me. Except this time I'm poking in this top and everyone's better wax on my brain top. So I'm waking up top on bottom, sleep, walking on water from that far. So self-assured, I don't wanna think. Mistake, touch, cake, mask, sword, gun, horse, Diego, data, bits of fake. All those times they hovered over me when I wouldn't move to escape from the rain. But it stays true with the drops in my face. Self-destruct to the fate to love, I say, and I've had enough for my family. Being in pain cause of me, and the place I'm at cause of who I am, but then who's been dangerous to me. But of course can't shine with that sun going blind and bitter cause they can't see. Red eye rays, I'm working all day, loose bitch, trying to reach the next location. Mind the up so many places I've never been before, but maybe in the next 365 cause right now this 24 is dedicated to getting where I'm needed, getting a realization. Gotta move and get back home. Got a baby girl on the way that needs me. Can't sit here and waste any more time now. I've gotta get home fast. Been too many days like this, holding myself back in a place that don't need me. Thanks for the wisdom and strength this week will show, but I think it's time I fly. Got so many calling my name. How can I answer the walls as thick as the blood I lost? Cutting myself down, step aside. I know it's running slow, still don't need to shake the ground. Baby, you doing whatever else is there. Ever get standing as if you're alive with the wind and always gonna live. When the truth is any moment you could give. Any moment it could give. Split your mind with it, gets too hard to consolidate. So bad it's easier to walk when you have equal balance on both wings. So that you quickly rise to the occasion of changing your gaze and turn elevating the way you look upon what's in the way. Up and down, going head on might damage your crown. Put your smiles on me, keep close to you those who love rip rounds on themselves. Tears Friends that help them laugh on the track or where they fell. If there's a reason I've been in on the other side, there's a reason I know where to walk, bring close eyes and give prayers. Just compare sons to realities, old Bruce, blood perishing. Guess means I no longer around. Never kills faster than time. Never crushes more than a room. Blocks out your loved one's eyes. Page 13 since today. I'm under the ghost of minutes appearing to read the words the way inside. And never touched by close to shine. Dream inside you still in voice. Somehow into moonlight. Light. Yeah, it's much with sunshine. Gotta move and get back home. Got a baby girl on the way that needs me. Can't sit here and waste any more time now. I gotta get home fast. Spent too many days like this, holding myself back in place. And don't leave me. Thanks for the winds and restraint. This fickle shore, but I think it's time I fly. Got some make all in my name. How can I answer the walls as thick as the blood I love? Got my time, don't step aside. I know it's falling slow. Still gonna shake the ground. Bury you to whatever else is there. Ever you stand as if you're alive with the wind that never gone down. When the truth is you could go anytime. When you could go back in time.
Hey yo, it's your boy DropTopShima, man. This was the last song for this episode right here. It's called Get Home Fast by Pegasus Snow. It's off his new album that he has coming out very soon. Am I right?
Yeah, July.
July to be exact. So all right, man, I want to say thank you again for tapping in with me. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that, man. You know, I'm just trying, like I said, man, I try to get everybody in here, man, because we got a huge team. And although some people know who I am, or some people might know you are, they might not know that we know each other. So, you know, it's a good way to introduce people.
Yeah. No, man, I definitely appreciate it, man. It's been a great time. And yeah, man, thank you so much.
Not a problem, man. You want to give everybody your social handles where they can find you at?
Yeah. Yeah, so eventually, you know, possibly by the end of the year, I'm hoping to have a website up. But until then, you can find me on Facebook at Pegasus Snow. That's PegasusSnow. You can find me on Instagram at the THUH Wildcat 859, the Wildcat 859. On Twitter at Pegasus Snow 859. And yeah, those are the main ones right now. Then again, I'm on all the streaming platforms, so you can find me there as well.
Any shout outs, anything like that, man, before we tap out?
So got the Pegasus Snow album coming out next month. I got the third single coming out before the end of the month. I'm going to have a track under another name as well coming out before the end of the month. Maybe an LP for that as well this year, as Point Blank. Show at Lexington Loud Festival show, and a show in Atlanta right now. So, and hoping to get more. So Yeah, thank you all for your time, and I look forward to sharing this album with everybody.
Yeah, man. So, like I said, tap in with the dude Pegasus Snow. He's out everywhere. Go get that new album. It'll be out in July. Also, real quick, man, well, shit ain't well by the time this episode come out, we don't know. But anyway, Father's Day Grills and Chill, man. We're gonna be out there at the Rock Fence Park in Nicholasville, Kentucky. So if you want to come out, definitely come out. I'll be out there, of course. And we'll have a good time. Like I said,
Yeah.
this is pre-recorded, so chances are this might come out after the fact this has happened. So just be warned. But
Yeah.
but yeah, man, like I said, man, thanks again, man, tapping in. It's your boy DropTopShima. You can find me, Convos with Shima. Or you can also get the other one, the more personal one. If you want to get intimate with me, DropTopShima. But only if it's the woman. No men's allowed. You feel me? All right, but check this out. Convos with Shima. You can tap in with me, book an interview, man. I'm booking throughout, man. Holler at me. Let's get to it. Let's make this shit grow, man. I'm out, man. BuyYouSong.com, man. And we got more projects and shit in store, man. Check out the YouTube channel, Convos with Shima as well. You can subscribe, like, share, comment. Boom. We out.
Convos with Shima. Convos with Shima. Holla at me, let's talk about it. Convos with Shima. Convos with Shima. Holla at me, let's talk about it. Convos with Shima. Convos with Shima. Holla at me, let's talk about it. Convos with Shima. Convos with Shima. Holla at me, let's talk about it.